Nice to meet you. Very glad to be here today. The communication will be in English today, so I hope that everyone understand properly. Let me introduce myself very fast. I am Xavi Buela. I'm managing consultant at Page Group. And today I'm going to speak with you about the job market for international candidates here in Barcelona. Okay, I hope that this will help for all of these people that are here in Barcelona trying to find a new career, or maybe that they just came here from abroad and they are looking for their first job. First of all, let's speak a little bit about our company, who we are, who is Page. Page Group is a recruitment agency. We work on an international and global scope. We are currently present in 37 countries, and we've been doing our job changing lives for people since 1976. We can say that we are probably one of the most senior companies on the sector. We're going to go a little bit deeper on how are we structured. Okay, here you have Page Group is the name of the main name of the brand, and inside Page Group we have 4 different brands. There is Page Personnel, Michael Page, Page Executive, and Page Outsourcing. What they do, each of them, which is the difference between them. Page Personnel is the brand who's in charge of managing all the positions corresponding to clerical professionals, and from junior management to middle management. Michael Page, we manage positions from middle management to senior management. Page Executive is the brand where we manage the high-level positions. For example, CEO, Executive Director, General Managers, the big positions. And Page Outsourcing is the brand that can manage positions from the other brands, but with the condition that it has to be for projects of big volume. Okay, when we have companies who has a project of hiring more than 20 positions, it's going to be through Page Outsourcing that we're going to do it. Okay, so inside of each of these brands, inside of Page Personnel, Michael Page, etc., we have different divisions. We, the consultants, are separate by divisions. We have, for example, finance. So we have the team of Page Personnel Finance, Michael Page Finance, so we can cover all the positions. We also have sales, retail, digital, IT, marketing, and concretely, my division, the division where I work, is the Shared Service Center division. Okay? Here we work with a lot of clients that has a need of hiring international profiles. They look for a lot of people with languages. So here we go with the languages, that I suppose that is one probably of your strength. Well, a lot of people, when I'm doing processes of selection, used to tell me, okay, Xavi, but here in Barcelona, sometimes it's difficult to find positions if I don't speak Spanish or I don't speak Catalan. How many of you had this thought? Raise your hand if you think that could be difficult. Some people. Okay. So this is something that it's not 100% like this. Why? The thing is, you have to think that you are in Barcelona. Barcelona is one of the most international and multicultural cities in all Spain. That means that there is a lot of companies with an international scope that they can hire, and they are looking for people with other languages that will help to those markets outside of Spain that they are managing. Sometimes when we look for positions, we fall into jobs for local companies or companies that they are more focused on EMEA. On Portugal and Spain. Okay, so on those one, for sure, they will ask for Spanish or maybe even Catalan. But there are a lot more companies that they are looking for other kind of languages. Let's see which could be those kind of companies, so you have those this information for you. Shared Service Center, or Center of Excellence, or BPOs, also known. Okay. For those who doesn't know what is a shared service center, let me explain you with a very easy example. For example, Page, our group, we have our own shared service center. What it means? As I told you, we work in 37 countries. So instead of having in each of these countries a team of finance, what we do is we build here in Barcelona a big international team of finance with people who speak different languages. And from here, Barcelona, we give service of financial service to all the other companies, to all the other offices that we have all around the world. It's a way to unify it. That means that here in Barcelona, we have a big need of people with languages to give service to, for example, Page Italy, Page France, Page Germany. So we need people with German, Italian, French, etc. In this case, because they are going to be working for other markets, they will not be working for Spanish one, they don't need Spanish. It's not a need. So they probably will looking for different languages. Maybe you say, okay, shared service center, maybe it's very big structure. It's true that there are also smaller shared service center, but maybe it's something too big. Maybe you are someone who likes something more like a startup. Okay, a smaller company that maybe it's starting developing here in Barcelona, and you have to think that Barcelona it's very attractive for a startup. There are a lot of companies that are coming here, opening their first company, and their intention is to have the headquarters here, but opening market to other places. In startup, we can find a lot of jobs like sales developer, sales representative, commercial, etc. Okay, so maybe it could be a good idea also for your startup. Another one, call center. A call center can be an option also for someone who likes to be on the phone. It's very communicative, communication skills, different languages. In my case, for example, a long time ago, I've been on a call center. What was it? It was a French company, I speak French, that had the call center here in Barcelona, and I was all the day speaking with French people. I didn't need Spanish at any moment. So I was a French speaker, so it was so much easier for me. Another situation, another case, it could be international hub. Maybe you are someone so much more specialized in what is it, finance, or maybe IT, or maybe digital. So a hub is very similar to a shared service center, but it's smaller because it's only focused on one thing. In this case, for example, finance or IT. If you are someone who comes from IT and you are looking for an IT job, international, you can look for an international hub of IT. Okay? Why I want to put here this? Because when you look for a job, these things are important for you to keep in mind the keywords. Those are keywords. At the moment when you look for a job in LinkedIn, in Page, and everywhere, you can put now, for example, shared service center, French, SSC, German, hub, IT hub, Dutch. Okay, this will help you to find the positions with your own language, the one you need to work. Okay, so keep in mind that these are mainly keywords and opportunities of companies that are looking for international profiles. Well, this is interesting. Where can I find a job? But a question that comes very often is, how much can I get? How are the salaries on the Spanish market? Okay, this is a question that comes a lot. Here we cannot see 100%, but I will explain you a little bit about it. We have left side the position. Here we took some examples of positions corresponding to finance and HR. Okay, this is an example that we took from the companies we're working with. There is division between group 1, group 2, group 3, and at the end you can see the bonus. Okay, this is the annual bonus on percentage that we used to manage. The groups, here we cannot see it, but are divided by languages. There is, for example, group 1, it's for those people who are specialized or have the language of Italian, Spanish, or French. Group 2, it's German, Nordic. Group 3 is Flemish and Dutch. Why do we have differences of salary, for example, between group 1 and group 2? Why a person who speaks German can access to a higher salary than someone who speaks French? It's just a matter of volume. Here in Spain, it's so much difficult to find someone who speaks bilingual or native German than someone who speaks bilingual or native French. Okay, it's a little bit more difficult, so that's why the salaries are a little bit changing here. Important things of this is not so much the amount, it's the fact that if you come from other countries, for example, you come from Swiss, Germany, France, the salaries there are different than the salaries here. So what we need to do when we come to that country, when we come to Barcelona, is to check and do an investigation about how are the salaries here and how can I adapt. Where is my place? Which is my value on salary? And at the moment you have information about the market, you can fix which are your expectations, something that they will ask you for sure on your interviews. They will always ask you which are your expectations. And this is a very important part, that you fix which are they. Okay? So keep in mind, coming from abroad, checking how is the market and fixing your salary expectations. Well, here we go at the moment when you have an interview. You've been checking all the different positions that they are on the market. They call you for one of them and they tell you, okay, we want to have an interview with you. At this moment is where you have to know that you have to prepare things before, during, and after. What do I have to prepare before the interview? The research. Very, very important to check before all the information about that company. I will put an example. When I do interviews at Page, I always ask to my candidates, what do you know about Page? I used to have two answers. One of them could be, yeah, well, I hear about you. You are a recruitment agency. That's it. Or maybe I can have the other part that they tell us, yeah, I know that you are an international recruitment agency. I know that you have a few brands, Michael Page, Page Executive. They explain me so much more. That person start the interview with so many points that the other one that didn't check so many things. So very important, social media, internet. In 5 minutes, you can get all the information of a company. You can get it very easy. LinkedIn, whatever. So get it, read it, and show that you have been interested. You have an interest on that company. Another interesting thing also is dress to impress. This could be very obvious, but it would not be the first time that someone goes to an interview very well with suit and tie, and the person who's doing the interview is shorts and sneakers. Okay, so this is how to adapt. It's very easy to solve it. How? When you're planning the interview, on the call, you ask them, sorry, do you have any dress code, any specific dress code? Yes, it's casual, smart casual, or suit and tie. Okay, now you know it. It's just to avoid this awkward situation that sometimes can happen. Very important to practice, okay? In front of the mirror with your boyfriend, girlfriend, roommate, family, whatever, practice. Why? Because it will help you to have a structure on your speech. Sometimes when we go to the interview, the structure is not really fixed or you didn't practice enough and everything starts to dance, okay? So it's better to practice before you go there. Getting there, well, of course, getting there on time. Arriving late, being late on your first interview, one of the worst things you can do, okay? So try always to be there, not 30 minutes before, but 5-10 minutes before, ideally, okay? It would be really great. Well, you are there already. You are on the interview. What can I do now? First of all, you are doing the interview. Don't panic. Nerves is okay. Everyone can be nervous. But when nerves pass from this to panicking, it's bad. Because you can be probably a super nice candidate with a lot of knowledge, but you will not be able to show it. Okay, you will not be able to transmit it to the other person. So try not to panic. How to avoid panicking? Practicing. When you practice a lot, panic reduce. Okay, you will not have panic. And one other thing that I always say to my candidates is, on an interview, you're going to speak about yourself. Who will know you better than you? You are expert on yourself. You're expert on your career. The person who's doing the interview with you doesn't know better than you how was your last experience or the experience you had 5 years ago. You know it better. So at the end, you're speaking about something that you're an expert. Don't be nervous about it. Something also important is first impression count. Seems very obvious also, but be neutral. An extreme example, but don't arrive there like, what's up, man, have five. No, okay, you are on a professional environment, neutral, and then you adapt. If the other people is more close and everything, if you feel it, you go. But try to have always a neutral stand. Answering questions, this is something that we found a lot. We ask a question because we want that answer. People start to go around and explaining other things, and they don't go to the point. Go always straight to the point, okay? You can explain other things in courage of this, but go to the point, answer the question. And speaking about question, ask also questions. Very important also, when you are there at the end of the interview, they always tell you, do you have any question? It's always good to have something prepared, some questions prepared. That means that you have been thinking about it, you have been preparing this, okay? So always try to ask questions. Okay, you finish your interview, everything was really nice, you didn't panic, you go home. Is that the end? It's finished? No. There is always something else that we can do, okay, to ensure that we did everything properly. For example, the feedback. I'm going to put you an example. I do an interview to 2 candidates. I like them so much. They are really nice candidates. I have to decide by one of them. And one of them, after the interview, he sent me an email. And he told me, hi, Xavi, thank you for your time today. It was nice to meet you. I'm very interested on the position. Looking forward to hear from you. And the other one doesn't do it. Which one I'm going to take? The one who sent me the email. Why? Because it shows more interest. It shows you that they know the how to do. Okay? So it's 3 minutes of your time sending this kind of email, but can make a big difference. Okay? So always try to do it. You don't lose anything. And patience. The patience is key here. Sometimes you find situations where the day after call. Xavi, how is the process? How is everything? Another day. How is the process? How is everything? All the time. Vale? How can we avoid this anxiety? By asking questions. You can ask them, okay, how much time will that process take? When more or less I'm going to have a feedback after the interview? In 1 week. If they tell you that, okay, during this week you're calm, you stay calm. When the week after comes, then you can call. Okay, but it's a way to reassure that your well-being and your patients will be okay, your nerves will be okay. And for sure after, attentive to the phone. We always have to be very attentive to the phone. I've been in situations where I call the candidate, voicemail, I sent emails, no answer, I sent message, nothing, and suddenly after 2 years, no, I was somewhere, no line. Okay, when you are looking for a job has to become your job. Do you get it? I mean, at some point, for example, when I was looking for a job, I was saving 6, 7, 8 hours sometimes to look for a job. This was my job. I had my Excel with all the links on the places I applied for, with the feedback of each of them. When do I have to? This was a job. Looking for a job is a job until you get this. Okay? Great. So, now it comes one of my favorite parts, is the part when you interact. Please don't be shy. Ask whatever you want. I hope that this brings you some questions, some doubts. If you have something that you would like to ask, we have now 10 minutes. So go ahead, and someone have any questions? Someone have something that wanted to share? Yes. She's answering by the relocation package. In case you are living here and you get a job in Girona or another place, in how many companies do we have a relocation package? It depends on the company. It totally depends on the company. There are some companies that has the side benefits, and one of them is the relocation package. So at this moment, they can offer you this possibility to find another apartment, to help you with the transport. It depends on the company. There is not a must that they will say, okay, all the companies of this sector will do it, all the companies this other will not. It depends totally on the company and on the possibilities they have to do it, a relocation package. Also applying for the people who's coming from abroad, from other countries. Maybe there are people who's coming from Germany and they need a relocation package here. Depending on the company, they will get it, or maybe they don't have it. They don't have this possibility. There are external agencies that they help you to do it. Okay, I think that today there are a few here on the International Day. You can check on them also, but they are external. It's not from the company, it's other company that helps you to do all this process. But of course, it's not paid by the company. Okay, so this is probably the question. Yeah.
Does your platform also provide feedback to candidates who applied for a job which is on your platform?
In our website, when you apply, it arrives to the consultant, your CV, okay? Then if you enter on the process, so that means that we called you and you start on the process, here, yes, you will have a feedback. You will have a feedback of if you pass to the next stage. First of all, you're going to have the interview with us, with the consultant. If everything goes well and we present your CV, we're going to advise you, we're going to tell you. And if you pass to the next stage, so interview with the client, we're going to also tell you. If you are discarded, we're also going to tell you, we're going to give you feedback. But just by applying, you don't know if you are, you're going to be seen, but you don't know if you're going to be called or not until you are. Okay, there is.
So only when you are qualifying for a meeting with the client would you give feedback, but it's as if I apply for a job and your consultant sees it and sees my CV is not good enough or whatever, they will not tell me why I don't make it. I'll simply know that my CV wasn't forwarded to the client. Right?
Okay, he's speaking about the reason why you are rejected, no? To know it. The system has not this criteria to know exactly which is the reason, just seeing at the CV. This criteria is the consultant who have it. But sometimes on some positions we have 150 applicants or even more. If we have to go one by one answering the reason why the CV was not the good one, it's very complicated. We cannot do it. It's too much time because we are managing probably a lot of positions at the same time. But which is clear is that when the client rejects a CV that he received, we're going to call you and we're going to tell you why. We're going to tell you why, and we're going to try to improve it, or if it's something on the CV, we will change it. I mean, we also do this part of trying to help you to improve those parts and to get better for other interviews. I hope that this helped you. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure.